Hey everyone, it's Mind, and in this video I am going to rank all the datables in Date Everything. It took a lot of effort to finish this video, since I watched all the love story ending playthrough to know all of the things they can offer to you. But I do have to warn you that this video has major spoilers to some, if not all, of the candidates in this game, and it is a very personalized video. Some characters can make you enjoy them, while others make you hate them. The rankings are not necessarily the healthiest one, or who I personally would love to date. But it is based on how much I enjoy their character and how fun they are. And also, all of the characters are very well written, but to not make everyone an S-tier character, I compare all of them to each other and base the characters from that. Naturally, everyone's opinion will be different, so if you agree or disagree with me, then you can write it down in my comment section. I would love to hear your thoughts about them. But enough with the yapping, let's start the video and get to the ranking part already. Abel. He is one of the sweetest dateable, he is reliable, but a bit of a shy person when it comes to dating. He has feelings for Dasha, but is too scared to be hurt again, so Dasha could only wait for him to make the first move. But when you came to help him, you pushed him over the edge and now he can finally date Dasha. He is a B-tier character for me, that's for sure. Airyn. You two literally just breathe together. Who can write something like this? This is hilarious, and she also happens to have a really nice design. I mean, just look at her. But because she is this simple, I can't give her more than a C tier though. Amir. Amir is a really hot and kind person. He really appreciates your beauty and shows how we can learn self-love. It is a great message. The part where he was upset with Jean-Loup and Johnny Splash is so funny. I love when there's a relationship between some characters. It's a nice touch. It makes the whole community feels alive, you know. He goes into the B tier. Arma. She is the embodiment of a fire alarm. She is super loud and constantly stays alarmed. Her beeping sounds are super annoying. Like, I just can't even imagine someone who is more annoying. She had a trauma in her childhood. She saw a house get burned down, and that's why she's been this alarmed at all times. But she always hyper-focuses on something, being alarmed, ice cream, and the next time cigarettes, so I don't know. To me, she's really annoying, sorry. But if you like this character, then that's on you. But for me, an F-tier character. Artt. He is the definition of an artist. He's very expressional and feels many feelings. He looks like a Greek sculpture, which I adore. In the gameplay, we put up many art pieces around the house, which makes the place feel more cozier, and I adore it when the gameplay makes consequences to the actions you are choosing. B tier. Barry. To me, he is super reliable. I can understand the feeling when you just think too much and talk and talk and talk. He is able to work on himself, and it is a generally good thing to have many interests, but he really never thought about writing down. I mean, really. Barry, you dummy. B tier for me. Bathsheba. This self-absorbed diva is such an amazing character to me. I really enjoyed her story and her personality. And I can't believe 5 people would hate you, let alone be rude to you, since you have a god complex and believe you're better than everyone. But she was entertaining, so B tier. Beau. So her, Gaia, Jacques, and you go on an adventure to free Ben-Hwa, sorry for the pronunciation, from Beau's evil twin. She wanted to steal from Jacques, and I don't think she's really that good person per se, and I didn't find her interesting at all, so I have to give her a D tier. Ben-Hwa. They are the embodiment of, you know what. And you got them from a friend who thought they were the funniest person in the world. They are the characters who will make your content 18+1s, so I'm not going to explain that much of a detail in what they like and what they do. The human burrito storyline was super gross to me, but for the record, they are C tiers. Betty. She's so cute, oh my god, I love her personality and her looks, and that sleepy voice that she does is just so fitting for her character. She kinda reminds me of Rose Quartz from Steven Universe 2. She's really sensual and loves anything that is related to sleeping and intimacy. She cannot sleep that well and wants you to be in her dream. She's head over heels with you, and then you go on a date with her. A tier. Beverly. She's the embodiment of beverages. She has a bar that has opened up and closed down for 6 times now, since no one drinks her beverages. She didn't do any marketing, and that is the reason why her business is unsuccessful. But she's so lucky to have you and Phoenicia by her side, because you two helped her out and brought so many people to the place, and it was actually a pretty nice story in my opinion. So, A tier. Bodhi. He's the embodiment of a time capsule, so naturally he's all about the 80s. He constantly uses the 80s slangs, and we help him learn about the word and how people use slangs in the modern era. He's very excited to learn about our culture, and his song is fire. B tier. Cabrizzio. He is a walking candy shore, but constantly talking about how stunning we are and what he sees in your eyes and what would he do if you two would go on a date together. It's just kind of a red flag to me. I mean, if you can talk about the dates but you never actually plan a one, is just pathetic to me. And he is too much, I think. A low D tier for me, sorry. Celia. Celia is the mayor of the house, and the only one who's not below her is you, the house owner. She's the one who all the folks go to when they have a problem. And she has a secret. She loves Florence and wants to protect her at all costs. But in the end, you help her get the girl of her life, and they even offer you a poly relationship. She's C tier to me, personally. Chairemi. She's an actress who performs different personas each of the days in a week. On Wednesdays, you and she performs a wedding-related play. Sci-Fi Thursday is the next theme. It looks like Celia really enjoys these performances. She really wants you to sit on her face. A tier. Chance. This nerd is basically a storyteller. You just play a fantasy game. It's great, don't get me wrong, but I'm more about personalities and character growth, so this isn't really exciting to me. But at least he's hot. Sadly, he'll be a C-tiered character. Curt and Rod. I really enjoy how they roast each other. They only want to laugh with each other and have such a great bond between the two. They look stunning, have great personalities. and some of their little quirks are so cute, like Curt talking in his sleep and Rod having a crush on Windolin. I think they deserve to be in the B tier. Daisuke. This tablewear is a serious workaholic. He never indulges in any of his desires or hobbies, but rather focuses only on work. Well, until you came into the spotlight. With Beverly's help, you remind him of his true self, and he starts to open himself up for you. He has such a calming area around him that makes him more charmful, in my opinion. And in the end, he brings you in upstairs. I didn't know he was that freaky. B tier. Dante. Seems like Dante Basco cannot run away from voice acting fiery characters. Dante helps you out in dating. His main goal is that he wants the partners to be friends with each other and to avoid situationships and problematic things, because in the wrong relationship can make a person's life miserable. He is cool, sweet, and a total gentleman, but he is only good for C tier to me. Dasha. This Russian lady sure knows how to make people fall in love with her. She's a strong woman who loves to help you out in your dating life. And getting together with Abel is what puts the cherry on top of the cake. I really love how they interact together. So Dasha is going to be a B tier, just like her lover. Diana, she is the embodiment of a diary. Due to this, she is all over the place and super emotional. She has some kind of Shakespearean language that she speaks, and I generally love her design. She has a hard time separating her own personality from the protagonist, since she is the one who has our memories written in her, and she never knows if it's her memory or ours. I actually really like her Mad Hatter vibe, and I'll give her a B overall. Dirk. He is there to make Harper's plot better, in my opinion. He isn't as developed as Harper, but I still like him. The explanation of where he has mommy issues, and that is the reason he kept staying with Harper, is quite good and it makes sense. But after he breaks up with Harper, he becomes Clarence, the clean version of him, and he has a relationship with a body pillow. I will put him in a B tier, personally. Dishy. He's like a commercial came alive. He's sketchy as fuck, wanting to know our financial records. He is a fun and unique character, and I like how he is a dishwasher with muscular, realistic legs. B tier. Dorian. Oh my god, he looks stunning. He has so many different looks, like Trap Dorian, who is I live for. And it is quite smart that Back Dorian shows his back to you, and Tiny Dorian is simply funny. And I'm not even going to start on his voice. He is a pretty hard nut to crack, but in the end, he is quite an amazing character in this game. Don't you agree? Easy A tier. Drysdale, this dramatic and egotistical diva, dated Washford, but Washford didn't flirt with him, so he didn't feel loved, so he flirted with Dirk, and that was the reason why they broke up. But after years, they are still in love, and with your help, they got together. On my yaoi, it's kinda cute. He definitely has more personality than Washford in my opinion. He is the sassy one. He is also B tier. Dunk. He is all about sports being fun, not like Christoph, who is focusing on the goal of being strong. Or Shelly, focusing only on lifting. He's here for balance. So much workout equipment makes fun of him, but he's still confident in himself enough to do the things he enjoys. He also has some daddy issues as well, and his story is not so bad, but it's not really memorable, so C tier. Eddie. He is with Walt, however, I feel like Eddie is so much better than him. He actually has a story arc that he goes through. He's a grumpy black cat who actually has a soft spot for Walt and will sacrifice himself just as much as Walt would to keep him and his club safe. He is very introverted and kind of a light mechanic. He is too cute for me to not put him into the B tier. Fantina. Such an amazing wordplay. Get it? She's a fan and your fan. If you have a gut complex, then she is the right girl for you. She would worship you 100%. She can be a little bit more of a stalker and quite annoying. I guess it was on purpose. Eh? B tier. Florence. Florence is the secretary of Celia, and she is the floor of our house. She can be a little bit clumsy, since she can easily spill some beverages on herself, and she is quite gullible, since she believed in that battle air scheme. But luckily for her, she has a strong and smart woman in her heart who protects her at all costs, ever since you helped them together. She loves helping people, as we saw in Holly's events. She is C tier for me overall. Freddie Yeti, this guy sure is big. That's what he said. But seriously, how can he be the smallest fridge that the factory made? And he was bullied by his size, and that caused him to have some anger management problems. Poor guy. But other than that, he likes to keep his chill at all times. Get it? But when he couldn't keep the food fresh, it made him feel useless. He's a flawed character, but he's overall a C tier because he doesn't stand out as much as the others. Friar Errol. Usually I don't really enjoy religious characters, but his ending made it 100% worth it. He's a snob who feels disgusted by fat and oily foods until he tries an amazing mozzarella stick, and he actually liked it, to the point of kissing you with a mouthful of mozzarella. A tier. Gaia. She is a socially awkward individual who just wants to know about the countries and the cultures they have. She makes a mission for us to meet objects that are from all over the world. And we get to know that Amir is from Iran, Dorian is from England, Key is from Nigeria, Jean-Louis is French, Keith is from Spain, Jacques is from also England, Kopi is from Singapore, Miranda is Mexican, Dasha is Russian, Rongomai Ben-Hwa is a Taiwan lady, Mateo is Mexican, Christophe is from Norway, and finally, Gaia is Canadian. I really like this theme and cultures, so her story is really interesting to me, so she's going to go to the A tier. Hanks. The members of this group are totally himbos. All they care about are sports and having fun, which isn't a bad thing. However, the sponsor, Red Bull, makes dangerous situations for them, but luckily they managed to get rid of them to be free with a little bit more caution. Hank 2, 3 and 5 are the more unique ones out of them in my opinion. Hank 2 is more a level-headed and skeptical one of the group. Hank 3 is a total pervert in a fun way, and finally Hank 5 wants to be a dad and the only one who falls in love with you. Overall, they are fun, A tier. Harper. She's so emotional, such a diva, but super toxic. I really like her backstory on her ex being a chapstick, Chappie, who got washed out and melted, and we broke them apart. And ever since that, She has some trust issues. Her design is amazing and her voice actress is chef's kiss. It really makes you fall in love with her. What can I say? I like him a little crazy. She's such a banger of a character. Of course she's going to be an S tier. Hector. This little shy cutie is super popular. He's a bit scared when we first meet him, but in flirting and talking about interesting topics is possible with him, even with him being insecure about his looks. And in the end, it is quite nice to see him fully, without the vent. But I have to say that I liked his design better when we could only see his eyes and hands, because that was super hot. B tier. Henry. This vacuum cleaner surely loves watching sports, but after watching the game, he opens up about how hard it is that he is not what he used to be, his bag is filled, and he needs emptying. But he is like a sportman or a himbo. He is not a fun individual, and honestly, even though he has a great design, he's just super boring. So I sadly have to put him into the D tier. Holly. She has the most detailed design in the whole game. Seriously, they made her look peak. And the story goes so hard in this. She overworks herself until her body cannot keep up with her, and only you, Betty, Copy, and Florence can stop her from doing this. The voice actor did a great job here. The joy and excitement she brings to the table is seriously amazing. Definitely an S tier character for me. Ronaldini. He is magician of a house. He's freaky. I like that. And I actually quite love how he helped Bobby Pin out in their story. And with bada bing, bada boom, he will fall in love with us. That's the magic, baby. B tier. Jean-Loup. He is so cringe, yet is super talented at rapping. I never thought that I'm going to learn how to write a song by a toilet. First, I really disliked him, but in reality, he is one of the most fun characters you can date. He even breaks a fourth wall by mentioning that it isn't a dating simulator. Well, guess what? He has to be an S tier, I'm sorry. Jerry. I'm sorry, but I can't really relate to this guy. I mean, driving in a messy environment is not something that I'm really into, and it can cause serious sickness to you. I know hoarding is a mental disorder, but this is another level. But I think it is a nice touch that being friends with him is the best option for him. However, watch the love route, and I can't give him more than B tier because licking some rusted nails is too much for me. The next one is keys. This piano is all about music. She's a little bit of a snob, but after she realized that the big life she had has no longer a thing, but in the past, she thought about it, and now she doesn't have to work constantly and has time to enjoy herself with Tally and with Rainy. Her story is all about making friends and not to be as high maintenance. And that music in the end was amazing. I really liked her story. S tier. Krzysztof, design-wise, he is stunning. One of the hottest male characters in the entire game. But for personality-wise, he really enjoys violence and fighting. It really makes him emotional that you came back for him on your own, that you chose to be with him. He is otherwise a total sweetie underneath that big body of his. This musclehead is a B tier for me. Lucinda, she is the DLC. She acts very sexual, but when you want to get to know her, she quickly spills the tea about her being an actress of some sort. She has a random chance of hijacking your talks from other dateables. She wants to be the best character of the game and tries very hard to make you think about that. She is fun and rewards you with a lot of spec points, and I love the creativity behind this character. C tier. Luke. The searcher can be a little bit insane, but we do enjoy some craziness, aren't we? He's deeply insecure about his magneton not being a super weapon, but you are reassured that he is perfect just the way he is. Other than that, he looks fantastic. B tier, baby. Lux. He's such a canty gay bottom boy. I love it. He's the diva, the influencer character trope, who is super good looking, yet full of himself and only cares about himself. His voice lines are amazing, and I can't believe that someone actually put water infested with feces on her face. Like, yuck! He is totally erratic, but can still steal your heart if you let him. He is going into the A tier. I don't know. Mac. They are the embodiment of a computer. The story is not too exciting, they need you to update them, but the design for them is incredible. I love how they are in a wheelchair, shows more diversity, and their tattoos are incredible. And finally, the mouse is super cute and was a clever idea for them. It's a pity that they were kind of boring, so sadly a C tier. Maggie. Maggie is the Sherlock Holmes of Date Everything. Or maybe she resembles Wilma from Scooby-Doo? Anyways, she has a sweet personality and is very talented when it comes to solving a mystery. Sinclair's story complements hers to the finest, and that makes her be way more interesting. A tier. Memoria. I love gothic and alternative characters, and she is like a Lydia from Beetlejuice. I do find her interactions quite repetitive in the end part. You know, you don't know nothing about her, she just talks about keeping things and throwing things away. And I would love to see more of her individuality, but with being biased, I can only give her an A tier. Michelle Lynn. The snob food critic surely is a foodie. The two of you go together and try out different food places, and then he writes about his opinions on his blog while falling in love with you in the process. He is nothing special, but an okay character, so C tier. Monique. She is a businesswoman who is scared of situations that may or may not happen. She always tries to be prepared for everything. And she also makes you have a quiz to see how responsible you are with money. Her friendship with Sophia is actually quite nice. But, again, she doesn't have any unique to her character, so I have to put her into the C tier. Nightmare. Based on what she actually is, it's much more pleasant experience talking with her. She is the embodiment of nightmares, and she wants to scare you and then find the meaning behind your nightmares, and actually wants to help you overcome your fear. She is an admirable thing. B tier. Parker. I don't know if it's only me, but I seriously can't stand him. Playing board games and only getting into relationships with him if we win rubs me in the wrong way. He is that nerd that nobody likes, I believe. But seeing him shirtless was interesting, at least. He is not for me personally, so I have to put it in a D tier. But I can understand if you enjoy this character, Penelope. She's quirky and a bit of a nerd. I like her energy, which is pretty weird for me since I don't usually go for nerdy characters that much. Storyline is basically her trying to get a date around the house, finding people and maybe fall in love with them, but all of her dates are a complete disaster. She had 4 dates before finally seeing you for the first time, and it was love. Aether. Phoenicia. She is a placebook influencer who is all about posting and making videos. Sometimes she can get a little bit too hot, so she can malfunction a little bit. This is caused by her burning out, and she had to log off from social media to touch some grass. I like how she helped with Beverly, so that is also a plus to her character. Overall, a B tier for her. Prissy. She is a weird character. She wants to be real, even though she is a plastic plant. After 3 attempts to try to become a real plant, but when you believed and loved her just the way she was, it caused her to have a realization that she can be real now. And then your house is covered with flowers and plants, and it looks so much cozier and lovelier. Great story, A tier. Reggie, the embodiment of rejection. He is a wild card for sure. He likes being mean and hating on people, but sadly for us, he is hot and fun. Why is it almost always the asshole characters are the ones we enjoy so much? His story is nice. We were super nice with him and it made him super mad, and he realized that we wanted him to hate us so he can love us, if that makes sense. It is kind of weird explaining it. Rebel. They love saying duck. You know what she wants to say in reality, don't you? If you don't, you are too young, honey. They are a punk and rebellious person who actually has a soft side, and after confronting with them about their behavior, they are just too cute. I like their story arc and how they are so sensitive. B tier. Scandalabra. He's a diva, a very dramatic and self-absorbed person. His outfit is incredible. It greatly showcases the century it is supposed to resemble. He tells lies to the player to make himself more interesting, and he also really enjoys gossip. I feel like he and Bathsheba will get along just fine. Overall, he is a solid A-tier character. Shelly. This excited and well-muscled fella can make you fall in love with her. But under the surface of energy, there is fear which feasts on her soul. She is constantly scared of falling down because one of her nails is not correctly put down, and her anxiety can only decrease if you listen to her. For her story, I think it deserves an A tier. Am I right? Sinclair. He is definitely the weirdest character out of the game. He ate some plants that made him forget everything about himself. Maggie and you are the ones who remind him that he is not a man, but a thing, and that makes his story wall. In my opinion, he is an interesting case, so I'll go with B tier. Skylar. I don't really like tutorial characters, and since she only talks about the game and the mechanics, she is kinda boring and a little bit tiring, I'm not gonna lie. Like, I almost fell asleep around her dialogues and her story. At least she gives us some lore about the game. And she has a great design, and I like the way that she talks. But she is a C-tiered character to me, sadly. Sophia. Every dating game should have a dummy mummy. And in this game, it's Sophia. Well, I'm not particularly interested in these kind of games. At least she's entertaining. You two also play some roleplay too, which is quite nice and refreshing. She's overall B character for me. Stefan. My first impression of him was that, oh my god, his voice is so nice. But after that, he's all about anger. He's very sensitive and whiny. How dare he throws sushi out. F tier. Stepford. He's the definition of oil up baby girl. He doesn't know how to lose and he's scared to go on a race. But with your push, he was able to go out there and win. But other than that, and his pretty interesting design, he is lackluster to me. So he is a C-tiered character. Telly. He's kinda too much for me personally, like he's too loud. I suppose it's in character for him because this was a really good idea on how would the TV act like as a person. And him wanting to keep up with the Vadiflix streaming site and how irrelevant television has truly become nowadays is a good concept in my eyes. But for his personality, I just have to put it into the D tier, sorry. Textbox-Chan. She's super girly and kawaii. I just love all the emotes she has in her textbook. It really shows how much she contrasts that panel. Her unique touch to the game is you can only talk to her if you've talked with this and that number of characters. She is a fun one, so I'll put her into the A tier. The Sassy Chap. The creators even put their mascot into the game. Hilarious. He gives us many details and fun facts about creating the game. It is quite nice how they spent the time to thank all the developers, this hard work, but as a player, I honestly don't really care about them. I'm sorry. So, it's nothing personal, I just like the other more creative stories and not just the introduction thingies. So sorry. D tier. Tina. Tina is an interesting deal. She's a triangle and so all of the things she enjoys are all about having something to do with triangles. She loves drama and can be a little bit of a jerk too. She's all about what's going on and wants a three-way. She wants to have two people who is in a relationship with her. Basically, she wants to have a threesome. I really enjoyed her story and her personality and her looks as well, if I'm totally honest. And she has an amazing taste in men. I mean, she wanted Tony. Now that we're mentioning him, Tony. He's a dumb and hot dude, just how I like him. You know what I'm talking about. He shows you how to look like working. I think everyone could appreciate his teaching. And all of his family members are named Tony. And I don't know, he's just so much fun, in my opinion. And you can also have a threesome with him and Tina, so A tier. Titus. First of all, her design is super pretty. She's a serious warrior who has a beautiful way of talking. Her story is quite simple. The three pods sacrifice themselves for your clothes. I think it is a unique storyline and I definitely think that it fits the character well. And the tripods are super cute. B tier. Tyrell. This double is pretty hot, but for personality vibes I can't really say anything because he is nothing. He just talks about how he wants to be a sunbathing towel and he is not interesting at all. C tier. Dolly. I seriously love the accent that she has. It is so sexy and gives her some playful energy. Dolly is a dust bunny who is a sucker for history. More specifically, the history of the dust bunnies. She is a teacher for like 114 years now, and she has also participated in some Play Bunny magazines. Overall, a great character with good looks. C tier. Timothy. This cat boy is so annoying to me. I seriously can't understand how someone like this character. When he started talking I knew that he was going to be the worst character in the game. He seriously gives me the ick. The worst character in the entire game. F tier. Walt. In the first times we met him, I really disliked him. He is too much and can be a little bit forceful, but after a while I really adore how much of a playful person he becomes, and I like how he would sacrifice himself for Eddie to work normally. He'll be in the B tier. Doug. First of all, I love his design. He's so creative, just like his burns. Wasting his time because he knows it's worthless. And him being an asshole just to cover up his sensitive side is much cuter than I thought it is going to be. He dated Hope, but after she was gone, he didn't feel happiness until he met Artt and developed a great friendship, or more. Who knows really? Bobby Pin. They want to run a criminal empire due to having two sweet parents for themselves, and they want to show them that they can find success, so that they don't treat them like a baby. Bobby has some pretty bad yet creative scheming ideas, and they have a pretty playful personality too. And I like that they are all tough and rough. But sadly, no one takes us seriously until they meet with the magician who offers a place for them as an assistant. They are an A-tiered character to me. Cam. He is the grumpy trash can of our home. He really enjoys talking about trash. Maybe he has some kind of a fetish for it, and he is really emotionally stable. He sets his boundaries and knows what he is, and he feels perfect the way that God created him, which I find admirable, really. But he doesn't really have any amazing arcs or special growth, nor a unique personality, so he'll go to the C tier for now. Vaughn. Oh my god, his design. He's so ugly, but I can tell that it's definitely on purpose. He is such a jerk and a joke character, but it was cute how he liked the little red plushie, but someone has to be in the D tier, so it's going to be him. Wallace. He literally only talks wall, which isn't as exciting as some of the other gimmicky characters, but I do find him great. You're finished with him after like 2 minutes, shortest conversation ever. However, he is D tier to me. He's nothing special. Washford. He dated Drysdale, but due to Drysdale flirting with Dirk, they got into an argument and they didn't speak for years. But they are still much in love. However, I feel like Washford is only here for the story, and Drysdale has a more interesting personality, so he is C tier. River. She likes to keep things to herself, but Bathsheba forced her to spoil some of her opinions, and now she just can't stop. She is a little bit insecure about herself and always asks everyone which part of her they enjoy, and everyone says different things. Some of them like the water form of her, someone likes her ice form, and someone likes steam. But in the end, she learned it's still her, and that is all that matters. She is a people pleaser who makes you want to protect her at all cost. She is definitely an A tier. Winifred. She's playful, I love it. She talks about the other people who lived in this house, since she knows all of them. She is polysexual, and everyone wants her, and she wants them too. I mean, she is a water heater, so many things require hot water, so they naturally want her. Cannot say I don't understand them, but C tier. Gwendolyn. I like how direct she is. Whatever comes into her mind, she says it. She wants fun in her life. She really likes to see out of the windows and just watch life, snooping around the neighborhood. She sure doesn't like to talk much, since she shoos you away after a bit of a conversation, but she can help you plan a party in your backyard. And a little bit of an erotic person. I mean, she's talking to fucking birds. But I guess she goes into the B tier. Yay! XXX Shadow Lord XXX. He's definitely the edgiest character I have seen so far. He can be a little bit cringe for my liking, but also cool too. He talks about dark and edgy topics, and you learn that he had a friend group in a chat room where they roleplayed about being the Shadow Lord and all. But now they no longer speak to each other. But he is not upset about it. He was happy that he could live those days, and that is a very good mindset if you ask me. He is a bit gimmicky though for my liking, but he deserves an A tier for me. Damon. I didn't understand anything from him at all. He was a really creative dateable, but almost every single character is, so that isn't a big deal. He was a dresser, but got glitched out, and now he is this. I like the concept, but as I see the list I've made so far, I really don't think that he is qualified for the A tier, but he is deserving for the B one. Luna. Her design is really amazing, just like almost everyone else's in the game, and her personality is really fun. Who doesn't love a good old gamer girl? The ending was amazing, how all of the game character were all her all along, but due to amnesia, she forgot and finally realized who she is, and she became Colleen's soul. But her amnesia storyline is quite repetitive, unique but repetitive, but she is still deserving for the S tier for me. Faria. She is the doctor character and a really enthusiastic one. Even so, she sometimes hopes someone will get hurt so that she has the need to take care of them. I wanna appreciate how good the diversity between the characters, since she wears hijab. She is a bit of a know-it-all, and that is not something to be proud of in my eyes. I honestly sometimes thought of her as annoying, and due to this, I put her into the C tier. Johnny Splash. It is super great to have a dream, but you gotta have to take some criticism and realize how good you are in something. Or not. I like how determined he is, but with these too many characters in the game, it's hard to stand out, and he doesn't stand out at all. So I'll have to put him into the D tier. Hirohime. This magical anime girlie can melt your heart. She practices tennis so that she can be the best in the university. She is Sam, our best friend's anime figurine, and when Naboru was talking, it was one of the funniest part of the game, really. But basically her storyline is about working out and getting better to win. So nothing special again, C tier. C means still good, however, this many characters and how goodly they are written, it just means basic. Jacques was. So far, he is the hardest character to make fall in love with you, but he surely is entertaining. He is a teensy-weensy little guy who wants enemies. But you can only make him fall in love with you if you two go on an adventure together. You go with Beau and Gaia on their adventure. It is the same one that Beau had, but Jacques' part is way more fun. A tier. Keys. Key is a key that can open about any door in this house. You can find him in the crawl space under the house. He can open doors too, but he is also a pretty open-minded person. He wants to hack into the old owner's account with Mac to find more things about why he was in the crawl space. He's a little bit of a toxic dude, but at least somewhat interesting. But not enough for the B tier, so C tier. Matteo. This animal enthusiast can steal anyone's heart. He's cute, he's sweet, likes animals. What else do you need? His gameplay mechanic was also interesting to say at least, because running around the house finding the lost animals is just too cute. He's in the B tier for me, personally. Michael. Oh, he's dead of tree. How cute. But in the second day it was really weird. I don't know what happened, but it was hilarious. This character is like a quest master in an adventure game, and he is not so bad per se. So he'll go for the C tier. Raining. After a party, she got damaged, and ever since that day, she can't play the records perfectly. Usually it's too fast or has a high-pitched noise in it. She has a great charm in her personality, in my opinion. I like her old-fashioned looks and talking style. But you screwed her up real good, and now she's good as new. And with her story, you learn that a good screwing can help everyone's out. She's A tier. Rongomai Ben-Hwa. Sorry for the pronunciation. She definitely has a god complex on herself. I get that she is a rock and lives forever, so to say, but she should work on her ego. It also doesn't help that she doesn't have too much screen time. And for me, she can go anywhere but into the C tier. Stella. Stella is an old and sweet woman who got into a pyramid scheme and doesn't seem to realize it, and is stubborn to listen to anyone's advice. But at least she has a good ending because Celia made her into her assistant, and now everything's fine. But that design, she's super elegant and good looking, so B tier. Teddy, he's like a big brother to your character. Gives great advice and has that protectivity, which is quite nice. The kid stories which he tells are not something that I am invested in, but he's a sweet character. The competition is too good against him. I know that he is sweet and all, but he doesn't have that boom, his character. Miranda. She is a musician who can stand up to herself. Stefan often says that she can do better, but this is her passion. I like her vibe. She is confident, she is flirtatious and passionate. There isn't any story with her, but when they talked about the game, it was really fun. But she only talks about music, so It gets a little bit boring after a while. C tier. Koa. I really like how he is so chill and relaxed. Sometimes a person needs to have some off days, and it's a great reminder for that. However, I still find a little bit boring, since every day you two do the same, and there isn't anything exciting story-wise. I totally get why some people would be into him, but he's not for me per se, so he'll go into the C tier. Kopi. She wasn't my cup of tea, or in this case, coffee. She's incredibly sweet, but a little bit too vanilla first time. She can talk about coffee for hours, and a friendly individual. Also, in my headcanon, I think she is a trans woman, and that will be so lovely. But, to my knowledge, there is no affirmation for that. Her character really grows in the other characters' dialogues, and that puts her into the A tier for me. That is what really made me fall in love with her character. Lyric. He's overall boring in my opinion. You two write a book together, and it of course becomes a masterpiece, but it still sounds kinda boring. He's nothing special, he's a gimmicky character. So for me, he goes into the D tier. Willy. Corporate girly who likes to step on you, just not the same way as Sophia does. She's really serious. She can be a little bit of a jerk sometimes too, but at least the AI storyline was kinda interesting. She is a C tier character to me. Zoey Bennett. Zoey is the ghost that lives in the attic. As Skylar told you, Zoey is a sweetheart. She's super excited to see you, because she is pretty lonely being trapped in the attic with no one to talk to. She was into a daddy witch when she was alive, and they did some seance together so that her crush can talk to his father. But when it didn't work, Zoey fell and accidentally broke her neck. You and other objects made a seance, and now everyone can see her, and she can no longer be lonely. The overall story was so beautiful and heart-touching. The best character in this entire game. And here is the final list of the characters. Phew, it was really hard task to talk about all of the characters. It took me 3 months to make this video, since I watched every love ending of each character. I hope my list doesn't make anyone upset, but you can write down in the comment section what your opinion about it is. Just please be respectful. And also, I wanna show you all 2 drawings of mine. If you enjoyed my video and you wanna see more of little on me, then you can click on the subscribe button and then the little bell next to that. I was Golden Mind, and I see you all in the next video of mine. But until then, have a great day and goodbye.